Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. And welcome to day 29 of my 31 Days of Horror Challenge in October. Now that we are on day 29, can't believe it's getting towards the end already of the marathon, but I figured this would be a really good one to talk about, because not many people bring this movie up. It's one of my personal favorite horror films from the 90s. I believe this was in like 95 or 96 maybe? I don't remember for sure, but I mean, the title says for itself. Sorry, I still got a cough left, but it's a film that is called, of course, by the title, The Dentist. Now, The Dentist was a film directed by, and it was actually, had a couple people behind the movie. And Stuart Gordon was actually one of the writers who did Reanimator and Castle Freak, among many other movies. And Pierre David was the producer who produced films like Wishmaster and Platoon. And directed by Brian Yuzna. Now, Brian Yuzna is a director you might be familiar with if you're a horror fanatic. Same guy that directed this and the sequel, The Dentist 2. He also directed Beyond Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, and Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Return of the Living Dead 3. So Brian Yuzna has done a lot of horror films, including this one. I'd probably say my favorite film, excuse me, probably my favorite film that Brian Yuzna directed. And the story is very simple, and I think I also mentioned this film too when I talked about like one of the Thrill Me Thursdays challenge when I did top 5 horror films that were based on a true story, and this was one of them I had on the list. Basically, it's about Dr. Alan Feinstein, played by Corbin Burnson from Major League. He's a very successful dentist. He's very rich. He has a lot of money. He lives in Beverly Hills. He has a beautiful wife, things like that. One day, though, he catches his wife cheating on him with the pool guy, and then from there, they kind of like makes him go crazy and starts, treating brutally, doing this kind of stuff to his patients, pretty much. So on top of that, too, it's like one of those films where if you have a big fear of the dentist and you don't like the dentist, then I would highly recommend you not watch this, because there's some scenes in here, especially like this scene there, right there. Like on top of that too, there's a lot of crazy stuff in the movie that goes on. And before I get to that, it has some nice, cool character actors, like some cameo little appearances by people. Not only do you have Corbin Burnson from Major League, who does a great job, you also have an appearance by Mark Ruffalo. Went well before he was famous. Mark Ruffalo has a small role in this. You also have people like Lee Sims, who would be on Phil the Future and Disney Channel. Who else do you have? You have Ken Foree as one of the detectives looking for Corbin Burnson, which is pretty cool. Big fan of Ken Foree. You also have Earl Bowen, who was in Terminator 2. I mean, there's a couple of other people in here that you'll recognize from other things. But The Dentist is one of those horror films that is just it's fun, it's gory, and on top of that too, there's some really gruesome stuff, like when Corbin Burnson's working on his patients, like there's a point where he has like this drill and he drills so far into this woman's tooth because he's getting so angry because of what his wife did to him. She drills it too far, and you actually like see like blood and the tooth pieces going everywhere, and it's pretty gruesome stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you have a big fear of the dentist, yeah, this is not the film you want to be watching. That's for sure. But it's a really fun movie. It's gory. It's fun, and the whole ending is really weird too. When Corbin Burnson gets sent to the mental asylum, and he's being carted off in this bed-looking thing, and then if someone working on his teeth, and the person who's working on him is his wife who's toothless. And that's a pretty crazy scene at the very end. But And on top of that too, it's really creepy. It's like Corbin Burnson's dentist character. He's really like one of those guys who, you know, he's really a perfectionist. So like whenever he sees something wrong with their teeth, he like goes to the extent. Sorry, but yeah, The Dentist is a really fun movie. It's gory. Really solid direction by Brian Yezna. He also went to do the sequel to this as well a couple years later. But like, I think this is probably Corbin Burnson, you know, really underrated role that he did. Like, I always remember him from this in Major League. He's great in Major League as well. And it's cool to see people like, you know, Ken Foree, Mark Ruffalo. It was really cool to see like Mark Ruffalo in an early role before he was famous for the Avengers and all that stuff. So, but yeah, like the title says for itself. Like, you kind of get the idea of what's going to be happening with these patients. You know, there's one point where he jams like a needle into someone's vein, and there's a point, like I said, when he's drilling people's teeth, he goes really deep and drills, and there's blood. It's a lot of crazy stuff that happens with these patients because of what happened with him and his wife. But The Dentist, very highly crazy movie, absolutely insane movie. So that is pretty much it for my review for The Dentist. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.